Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you subscribe and stick around for a while. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, maybe a bit more serious than usual, because today I'm going to talk about self-love and self-acceptance, but with a kind of a fashion twist, because this is a fashion channel. So I'm going to sit down and talk about these things, but then I'm going to also add some fashion to the video, because I don't want it to be just me sitting around talking. That would be a bit boring. So I have four topics related to self-love and self-acceptance that I want to discuss today, and I have 4 dresses that kind of reflect these 4 themes. So I'm going to talk about one theme, and then I'm going to show you an example of a dress that somehow relates to it. It's kind of difficult to explain, but when you see it, I think you will get it. But yeah, let's just get started. This is kind of part of my self-acceptance journey, and every person has their own journey. Yours is not necessarily similar to mine, and this is also related to my experiences as a plus-size woman. So if you're not a woman and if you're not plus-size, maybe there are some things that you can't relate to, but my aim or my goal is for this video to be like something that everyone can take something from this video, not just plus-size women. But since I am a plus-size woman, that's kind of part of the package when I'm talking about my own experiences. And I didn't want it to be just about, at first I thought I would talk about body positivity or body acceptance or something like that, but I didn't want it to be just that. So while a lot of this is related to accepting your body and accepting the way you look, it's also about other things, just generally learning to love yourself and accept yourself with all your flaws. So I mean, our bodies are a big part of who we are, a big part of our identity. They are with us all the time, they are a part of us. So I think how you feel about your body also reflects in how you feel about yourself in general. So yeah, so body positivity, that kind of plays into this somehow, but it's not the only thing I'm going to talk about. Alright, let's get started. So as I said, I have 4 topics, 4 steps or 4 tips, if you will, that I want to cover. And the first one is accepting the fact that you're never going to be perfect, because no one is. It's not possible. This might sound a little cliche. I think a lot of these things sound a little cliche, but they are cliches for a reason, because they work, or at least they work for me. And I've always been kind of a perfectionist, especially when it comes to my job, my work. And it's really exhausting to try to be perfect at something, and always, no matter how well you do, you just keep pushing that bar higher and higher, and at the end it just, you feel like you're never going to be good enough. And I feel like that's something that happens to a lot of people. So we think that we need to be a certain size, and then we can be happy. We think that we need to lose weight or gain muscle or something like that, and then we can do this and we can do that, and then we can live our lives happily. But it has to be, we always have to have some kind of goal, and when we achieve that goal we have to have another goal, and ultimately it kind of leads to this vicious cycle of never being good enough. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals and you shouldn't have ambition, because of course you should. It's really important in your life to have goals, but you can, by accepting that you're probably never going to be perfect and you're probably never going to be entirely happy about the way you look or about yourself in general, by accepting that it's really liberating, because no one is completely satisfied with the way they look. Even supermodels think they look fat some days or think they look ugly some days, and that's just a part of being human, and accepting the fact that, well, I'm not perfect. I'm not even good at everything. I suck at some things. It's okay that I suck at some things. It's okay, I can fail, I can have a bad day, I can gain weight, I can lose weight, I can, you know, these things, they change, and in the end it's not about being perfect. It's about having goals and wanting to achieve certain things in life, but being happy with yourself at the same time in that moment in time. Like I said, I have a dress for every step or tip on my list, and the first one is a dress, because my first point was you're never going to be perfect. My first dress is a dress that kind of highlights my imperfections. So it is a light peach colored bodycon dress from Forever 21, and it's sleeveless, because the parts of my body that I'm most insecure about are my stomach and my arms. So that dress kind of shows off both of them, because the color is light and it's a bodycon dress, so you can see the outline of my stomach, and then it's sleeveless so you can see my arms, and I don't look perfect in that dress, and it's fine. Okay, the next point on my list is don't focus too much on what other people think, good or bad. Again, it sounds a little cliche, oh, you shouldn't care about what other people think. Obviously, you're going to care about what other people think. Like, we are surrounded by other people, we interact with other people every day. Of course we care about them. We care about our families and friends, and we care about what people think about us, at least to a certain extent. Unless you're living alone in the middle of nowhere with no human contact, maybe then you won't care what other people think, but otherwise we do care. But ultimately you are the only one who can make you fall in love with yourself. I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's true. And the fact is that yes, it's important to surround yourself with happy, positive people, and people who love you can certainly help you find those positive things about yourself and help you kind of fall in love with yourself, but it's not going to help if you don't believe it you know, if you don't believe what they say, those positive things that they say, it's not going to happen. So it has to be you. You have to have that want, that drive to accept yourself and love yourself. And also, it is, if you just rely on other people's love to pull you up when you're feeling down or whatever, that's kind of unfair to other people, because they can't be responsible for how you see yourself, or for how you for your happiness. You can't rely on other people, not entirely, to maintain your happiness. So it has to be about you. It's the relationship between you and yourself. And similarly, when we can use negative things that people say, and we can kind of take them and use them as turn it into a positive force, and even kind of get empowered by something negative other people have said about us. But that shouldn't be the main focus either. So you can take something positive from the negative things that other people say, but that shouldn't be your only driving force. Like, I was bullied as a kid, and sometimes I think about those people who did that, and I think like, oh man, I wish they could see me now, that I'm doing so well now, and I'm so successful, and I wish I could just like rub it in their face or whatever. And that's not something I should focus on, because those people don't matter. They are in the past, and if there's something, some of those painful memories from the past that I can take and I can use them in a positive way, that's good. But that's where the relationship between me and those people who hurt me or bullied me or whatever, that's where our relationship ends. Both the good things that people say about you and the bad things that people say about you, you can take them and you can use them, you can make them into positive resources for yourself and for self-love. But at the end of the day, it's about you, and you have to focus on the things that you love about yourself, and that you, the qualities that you really think that are positive about yourself, not the things that other people think are good or bad. So for this second point, I have chosen a dress that is kind of like something a lot of people would say that a person my size shouldn't wear, and again, some people might say that I should wear it just because it's cool to break the rules, but I have chosen it because even there's a lot of discussion about it, that doesn't matter, because the fact is that I love that dress and I like the way it looks on me, and that's why I chose that dress. And it's a strapless bodycon faux leather dress from Fashion Nova. Alright, the third point on my list, and it's kind of related to the second one, but this is more concrete. So the third step is to edit your social media. And I think this is really important because social media is such a big part of our everyday lives now. We are surrounded by it, there's no escape, and social media can be a really positive force. It can be really empowering, it can help you find people you identify with and help you connect with others who have similar interests. I love social media, okay? I love it. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love it. But I also know that social media can be really toxic, and it can really affect the way you see yourself. It can make you do these negative comparisons between yourself and other people, which you shouldn't do, because you are on, like I said, you are on your own journey. I'm on mine. Other people are, they all have their own journeys and own challenges and own things they focus on. But sometimes when, especially when we're feeling a bit down and when we are vulnerable, maybe we are having some negative feelings about the way we look, our bodies, then negative things that we see on social media and people who maybe talk about, if you're, for example, I'm fat or plus size or big or whatever you want to, whatever word you want to use, but I'm mostly okay with it. You know, I would maybe like to be a little bit thinner, but mostly I'm okay with it, and I'm working on it. Working on being okay with it and being my best self. But sometimes it does hurt to see like fat-shaming comments on social media. So if you see something that makes you feel bad about yourself on social media, just block and unfollow. Unfollow and block. It's that simple. You don't have to see those things that make you feel uncomfortable or make you feel bad about yourself on social media. Because on social media we can choose what we want to see, what kind of content we want to see. You shouldn't be forced to see something that makes you feel bad. And even if you feel kind of bad about blocking someone, maybe they are a co-worker, or maybe you know them, you went to school with them, or maybe they are a relative, whatever, don't feel bad about it. They have made the choice to make certain types of content and post it on social media or share certain types of content on social media, and if you are uncomfortable with it, you have the right to block it, so you no longer see it. Even if the person who you blocked notices, they're probably too embarrassed to say anything about it. So you don't have to worry about that. And if someone says something, then you can just admit it. Just say, well, I don't really like the kind of content you post, so that's why I don't follow you. But that was the third thing on my list. Edit your social media. Follow people who make you feel good about yourself and who make you feel good about life, and unfollow those who make you feel like crap, basically. And for my outfit for this one, I've chosen a very social media worthy dress, because I like to, when I post things on social media, I like to post things that are visually appealing, and this is a kind of wow dress. Not certainly a dress that I would wear every day, but one of my favorite dresses that I've ever had. So it's this very Cinderella Disney princess type of dress from Chi London. and I look fabulous in it, and I will take lots of fabulous pictures in it and post on my social media. The last point on my list is finding happiness in little everyday things. So I already talked about accepting the fact that you're not perfect, and not focusing too much on other people's opinions. And this is kind of related to both of those things. Because no matter what, there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days when you're not happy with yourself and when it feels really difficult to love yourself. And often I find myself looking in the past and thinking about, oh well, when I was 19 I looked so good. Why didn't I appreciate it? And that's kind of pointless, because you can't go back in time and tell your 19-year-old self to appreciate what they have. So that's just pointless, and it just a waste of energy to think about things that you can't change. So instead of that, try to focus on the moment and what makes you feel good now. So make this the kind of moment that you can think about 10 years later and think about, well, when I was 30, I'm so glad that I appreciated these little things in life that make life worth living. Every day has to be fabulous. You can just be happy about little things, like just focus on not on what you look like or what you have achieved, but focus more on how you feel. Like the feeling of sunshine on your face after a long winter, or the feeling of holding hands with your partner or hugging someone you love, coming home after a long day and your pet is waiting at the door. Little things like that. That's just what personally makes me happiest. Like living in those moments and kind of forgetting about everything else, forgetting about work, forgetting about the media and how the media tells us we should look, or we should be, or what kind of things we should achieve. You can just put that like on the back burner for a while and just focus on the moment. Little things that give you happiness. Kind of, it can even be something selfish, like a new lipstick that makes you feel wonderful. Focus on that. And I really think that's truly important, because like I said, it's good to have goals, it's good to have ambitions in life, but you can also enjoy your life in the meantime while you're working towards those goals and ambitions. And if you're not happy with your body and the way you look, then you can change it, you can make changes, but it doesn't have to be all suffering and horrible self-hatred until you reach that point that makes you feel like, okay, I don't have to change anymore. While you're working on those changes, you can still love yourself in the meantime, and you can still focus on those little moments of everyday happiness. That feeling that, okay, I'm okay, everything is okay. Okay, so the last outfit that I have is kind of reflecting these simple everyday joys. I chose a very simple little black dress because that's like the basic thing in every woman's wardrobe, and it's very simple, but I feel really good wearing it, and it just makes me happy, even though there's nothing really special about it. I bought it at Forever 21, it probably cost like 10 euros or something, but I feel happy wearing it, so that's why I chose it. Alright, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, my rambling. I know a lot of this stuff is like stuff you hear all over and over again. I know I said it's kind of cliched, but it's the kind of stuff that has worked for me personally, and I can honestly say that even though I don't necessarily look the way I want to look for the rest of my life, and there's a lot of things that I want to achieve in life, and there's a lot of things that I want to improve on, I can honestly say that I do value myself and I do love myself. I hope there's something in this video that gives you something to think about and maybe helps you love yourself more, or at least accept yourself more. Have mercy on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Don't put so much pressure. I know we live in a society that's very good at putting pressure on us, and yeah, I know that social media and everything, and even what I do, because I mostly focus on fashion, I know it can be a really, like, there's this pressure to look good and get into all the trends, but that's not what it's about. Like, I want to present fashion because I enjoy it and it makes me happy, and I hope that other people can be inspired by me and my fashion, and it can make them happy as well. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will give it a thumbs up if you want to see more of these kind of deep conversational videos. I will link all my social media in the description box. Share this video with your friends if you think that they would enjoy it, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I have more fashion stuff coming. I have a Fashion Nova haul coming, and Shein haul at some point, and I'm also working on those like styling videos that I've mentioned earlier. So yeah, I think that's everything for this time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I love you all. See you in my next one. Bye!